All right, here we are, the Real Joe Show. Today's episode is going to be supercharged because we have Michael Terbet, aka the Super Terb, on the show talking about working with the P&L, talking about how to beat the market conditions, and just how to run a team at a high level. So, Michael, thanks for coming back on the show. Super Terb. Tell me about that name again. I know a lot of people probably just watching you for the first time. Where did Super Terb come from?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me. So my last name for people watching is Terbet, Michael Terbet. I'm with my mother's Ida Terbet, so I've been in real estate 17 years. So my nickname growing up as a kid was Terb with a B, not a D. Plus, when I coached basketball before real estate, kids that I worked with at camps, they never forgot my name. And it was about 4 years ago, I believe, when I did a video. I had a coach then was awesome, helping me with my video and marketing. And I said, I think I'm going to do a, Super Terb video where I help buyers and sellers in distress. And that's kind of where it started. So I have Super Terb on everything. That's my logo here. And I've got my cooling towel here. I've got koozies. I've got it all. So I got my birthday cards here. So it just kind of went with it. And it's fun. The one thing I do is I like to have fun. And I'm a big believer, obviously, in branding and being a salesperson. And someone will remember Super Terb.
It's a great brand. It really does work. People won't forget that. So I really want to dive into two things today.
Sure.
One's going to be talking about how to beat market conditions. Mm-hmm. So many agents get caught up in what's actually happening in the market, and they let that dictate their business. You don't, and we're going to get into that. First, I want to talk about profit and loss statements. I know this was something you dove into with your consulting, your coaching that you were having. One of the things that a lot of agents don't understand, they're actually building a business. They're getting into a business. It's a company. It's not just a practice of doing real estate. It's a business of doing real estate if they want to be successful at it and grow. So I'd love to hear your experience with starting to work with the P&L and how it has shifted your mindset and looking at your business and running your business.
Yeah, no, started doing a P&L a year ago. I guess it was last fall, actually. I'm coming up on a full year that I've been in level 3 of the core, which is a high accountability coaching group out of Charlotte. And when you're in level 3, you have to do part of your homework each month, because I think with a lot of agents or people in general, I think the stat is 92% of people operate monthly without a budget, personal budget.
Yeah.
And Rick Ruby, the owner of the core, Kendra Cook, who's in charge of the realtor division, they want us to know what we're doing with our money. So this was foreign to me when I started, and I'm still work in progress. So every month we have the first call of each month, we have to provide a P&L, profit and loss, as well as a personal budget. And the personal budget is dictated by your previous month's P&L, your take home. So many agents look at gross versus net, and we can only count what's net to us. So the P&L, where it's helped me, and right. I'm in a situation too where I don't have a whole lot of overhead personally. I'm on a team with my mother, Ida, and Colleen, right. A great company with Coldwell Banker, but I still do spend with marketing. And what it's helped me indicate is what I'm spending my money on. And most importantly, the money that we're spending on, is it returning its value in business? So many agents will market or do things and they can't account to where that it's the root of the business you're getting. So one thing that we're really being P&L specific is when you look at, we have a P&L sheet we fill out where we have our wages, whether you take a monthly income, if you're an LLC or not, who you may be paying on staff. I don't want to get ahead. You go ahead. You ask the question.
Well, yeah. Let's stop right there for a second, because that's an interesting point. So many agents, their commission comes in, goes into their personal bank account, they spend it, and whatever they have left over, for a little bit, and then they spend that. And they don't set it up like a company where they're paying themselves a monthly salary. Is that how you are doing your company? And I know if you don't want to get into it, you don't have to get into it, but we're here.
Yeah. So I'm only looking at it right now as me. So how I started is, kind of had started a team within a team. That's the way I look at it. I'm in a very unique situation the way our setup is, because I'm still a member. I'm not with the Terbet group, my mom, but for me to grow, I brought on an assistant, and we have great staff that helps us. So I kind of look at it that way. So all the numbers that are on the P&L are just specific for me.
Gotcha.
So where it helped me is to, on a monthly, the first thing that kind of opened my eyes to is I know in general what it's going to cost for me on a monthly basis to run my ship.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And that comes down to wages, not including your salary, but anybody you have on staff, whether that's part-time, full-time, you've got to account that into your monthly P&L, your office expenses, whatever that may be, miscellaneous, whether that's meals, that's gifts, that's team events, like I have a happy hour later today, and then anything personal you may run through the company. And then the other side of the P&L will have the units sold, whether you are on a team where, you've had a buyer agent bring in that, income, or something getting touched, or something personally that you have, because it breaks down your expenses and then your profit, right? Your lost profit. And it comes down to what you've made on a net total after taxes. You also account for taxes. And then whatever you have on that P&L, that total maybe it will show if you've made money. And if you've made money, now that number goes to your personal budget, where now you know what you're playing with for the upcoming month, along with your wages you take home, as far as your salary.
So do you set yourself up on a salary every month?
I do.
That's great. That's great.
But again, this is a work in progress for me in regards to, prior to joining the Corps, I didn't even have a CRM that was working for me. So I've come a long way, but it's teaching you, again, even you see what's going in and what's coming out.
Yeah. Has it changed your business, the way you're spending money and the way you're looking at your business?
Well, this year specifically, yes. With just the market conditions and, what the budget, I've eliminated a client event that I did last summer. Like I did a big baseball event, but it was significant, the money we spent on that a year ago. Yeah. As much as I wanted to do that, I was like, okay, we got to put a break on that. And other areas where I was spending money, to help grow the business or continue, we just looked at it. Okay, how can we use that money in other ways to, accomplish more with a little less while we're navigating through the market.
Sure. So you're not going to eliminate the touch. You're just going to change what that touch was and have it less expensive.
Yes.
That's great. Mm-hmm. That's great. How often are you looking at your P&L?
Once a month, because, for example, next Thursday I'll have to turn in my P&L and personal budget, or actually we turn it in 24 hours early, but we do the P&L at the beginning of each month, because what we're doing is looking at it's basically month in arrears of what we brought home. And then with that, your profit, if you had profit, then it goes to your personal budget. For a reason you're in negative, or you don't make what you need to operate on that monthly budget on a personal level, then you're going to have to be bringing money in from savings and what have you.
Right. So it's once a month you're looking at this. How much time does it take?
Now I got it down pretty good, but I still go back and I itemize or look at exactly what was spent, specifically meals and things that change. There's a lot of numbers that are the same every month. My expenses are pretty much the same, and that goes into, the wages that are there, or monthly expenses for the office, or the things that I spend money on.
Are you using a software system, or you just a simple
They have a spreadsheet that they provided that just automatically inputs everything, and so it's real handy. And then you take simple. Yeah, and the numbers that you're putting on the P&L, it's coming from your pay log. So we I have documentation of everything that that I'm closing for that month. So those are the numbers that you go and put on the pay log. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So overall, it doesn't take you don't have to hire anybody to input this, on a monthly basis.
It all depends. It depends how transparent you want to be. But I know there are people that probably have team members or staff that probably help with their P&Ls. It's probably your own personal decision. It probably just depends on how transparent you want to be. But I know a lot of people that are in the core, a lot of great agents, team leaders, they have everyone in their office on the personal budget. Like they review, they're like trying to help them with money and what they're spending on. They're not trying to be intrusive. They're just trying to set them up for their future on how to do that.
That's fantastic.
And again, that's where I'm still working on.
So what is the structure of your personal team right now?
So right now our team has 3 full-time licensed, admin. We call them RP1s. So we have Lauren.
This is the added Terbet team. Correct?
This is Terbet, but they help me, and so we're a team.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm a little bit unique in the fact that Lauren helps me from contract to close. So any contract that I sell goes to her. Amy helps me with my day-to-day as far as my CRM, my weekly emails. We just mailed out my letter of the heart, my evidence of success, which is a postcard that's sent out monthly to my sphere. Anything that we're working on, and then also helps with listing appointments, getting stuff in the computer, and then Rachel helps with marketing as well as listings. But they're all licensed, which is great, so they can handle files and talk to the clients. Then I hired Jordan Hollinsworth, who's a phenomenal agent a couple years ago, and she helps me with my buyers.
Gotcha. So the P&L for you is fairly straightforward, pretty simple.
Yeah, I don't have, like I said, that's where I'm pretty blessed because I don't have a whole lot of overhead. But what's nice is on our coaching calls, there's 2 other phenomenal agents on my call that are like right this semester. I have a gentleman out of Lakeland, Florida, another out of near Chicago. And then my coach is out of Michigan, and she's a phenomenal agent. So I'm able to see my 2 core mates' P&L as well. So it's very transparent. So their teams and their P&Ls are different from mine. So I'm able to see and learn from them as well. And they've also been in the core much longer than me. Right. So they're helping me grow because it's something that it just doesn't happen overnight. I think the biggest adjustment everybody's had to make is 21 and 22 is significantly different than 23 as far as profitability. And you can't operate like it was in 22, in 21.
That's right. Knowing what you know now, and for agents that don't have a P&L, when do you wish you started this, and when do you think it really comes into play?
I think any agent that's an independent agent, for sure, if they're their own agent, should be diving into it immediately.
Right.
Even in the top producers, the great agents that are out there, they have no idea. Like they know what they make. It's like it goes back to the gross first net, and especially also in a business where you write off a lot of expenses. You really don't know what you're bringing home, and that it's eye opening on how to operate your business to where you have actually a exit or retirement strategy in this business. That's why I think you see a lot of people working. One is if you love it, you're going to work. You'll enjoy doing it. But at the same time, if you don't have a consistent model, you follow with your P&L, or you don't know where your spending's going, you're setting you don't know what your future holds. But it's uncomfortable. And I think that's the thing, though. Money's uncomfortable. People don't like talking about it. I'm even get uncomfortable. Right. Like when I know they're going to go, my coach is going to look at my stuff. I mean, but they're there to help you. But that's why, again, it goes that 92% of people don't have a budget. And again, I'm always one of them. I'm still am. Like my wife and I are working on it. It's just, I'm not a spreadsheet guy. I'm like, okay, I'll get that. I'll just sell another house. But again, you got to prepare for when that doesn't happen.
Yeah. That's great advice. I think it is. You're spot on. Agents right away should understand where the money's coming from and where it's going. Otherwise, you're just leading blindly.
If you're on a team, it's a little different. Not saying you shouldn't have a P&L, but you join a team for to learn from others, to be part of something, to have that mentorship. But you're also kind of latching on to a team member or leader that's doing the marketing, they're doing the branding, they're being the rainmaker. So maybe at that you may want to learn how someone does it. But when you're in your own independent agent, your own boss, you got to know how you're operating on month to month on your expenses.
Would you recommend that somebody starts with their personal budget first, so they know what they need to make, they need to net, and then build their business plan upward from that?
I think personal budget would be, because you also need to know what when you look at your personal budget, it's your survival cost, and then there's the wants and the need. You know what I mean? So like on our personal budget, I have a survival number. So there may be a month that I'm not going to be the money for going out to eat or miscellaneous or different things that may change. I don't need that per se, but you need to pay your mortgage, you need to pay your cars, you need to pay power, so there's what you need to make for survival. And then I think that will help knowing what you need to make on the business side. Again, on the business side, it's just kind of eye opener where it's kind of, I know what I need to make, including my salary a month to month on, take home to be profitable.
Right. That's great. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's switch gears. I appreciate all that insight, and I encourage anybody that's watching this to do the personal budget and get your P&L going and ride your business the way it's supposed to go.
And one thing real fast before we get going, because as far as the P&L goes itself, if you look at it in a chart, you don't want to have more than 50% of expenses on your P&L, and it's broken down to where 30 to 35% of your P&L should be wages, not including your salary. 5 to 7% should be office expenses. 5 to 7% should be miscellaneous, and then lastly, 5 to 7% is personal. So the biggest part of your expenses are your wages, is your salary or who you're employing, because depending on how much you're selling will dictate how you hire and who you hire. Anything more than that, then you're spending too much money on the P&L.
And in salary, those are your TCs and your transaction coordinators, or does that come?
Your admin, your full time, usually our admin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's great. Good advice. Mm-hmm. All right, thanks, Terb. Yeah. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk about the market, and not just today's market. Let's talk about every market, because they're all a shift from the previous one, right? So we're shifting gears constantly, and the fortunate agents, they can kind of sense it happening before it actually falls off the cliff. That's very difficult to do in most cases, and some can figure it out. So there's always a shift, and we're in one now. We'll be in one again, a different one, whether it's shifting upward or downward, we don't know. How do you stay agile? What do you do differently when that shift happens? How do you measure what to do next?
I think the biggest thing for agents, or been in this a long time, is first you have to have a really good mindset. So whatever you do in the morning, meditation, reading, I'm big on Audible books. Our brain is our worst enemy. I mean, you could get 3 homes under contract this weekend, and then what are you telling yourself? Where's the other one? We're really big on comparing ourselves to one another. That's why social media is fun, but also dangerous at the same time. If you think about it, probably 75% of people I'm friends with or follow, who are they? Agents. So we're always seeing just sold, just listed, It's very easy to get caught up on that. So,
absolutely.
To answer your question, I'm going to show you this. And again, I'm an advocate of coaching. I was a coach at basketball. This right here, I know you probably can't really see it. It's my greatness tracker. Greatness tracker every week. Are you there? I don't know if I lost Joe. There he is.
I'm here. I just wanted to get that.
My greatness tracker that I go with the core. And what it does is set yourself up for systems. You may not feel in the right mood. You may not feel good that day. But I know on Monday, I'm calling my VIPs. I can get into that in more detail on another call. Tuesday, I'm calling my current clients I'm working with to give them Tuesday updates with Terb. Wednesday, I'm calling hot or old leads. Thursday, I'm calling 30 past clients, usually inviting them to my happy hour, see how they're doing. Friday's new business. That's where I got to get better at. people that I've met through my VIPs, meeting them and trying to go to lunch. I try to write 20 thank you notes a week and chart that. Try to do one video minimum a week where it's going to be out to 500 plus people or 500 plus views. And you gauge yourself, and then so many face-to-faces. So I know each day what I'm doing. The biggest thing, though, to get through it all is understand that you can only control what you can control. And I just finished a great book called Chop Wood, Carry Water. And it was amazing. Okay. I don't know if you've heard of that book, but basically talking about surrendering to the process. And so many of us get caught up, and I'm guilty, of the end result. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to sell 50 homes. But what do you do on a daily basis to get there? So as I tell agents that it may be shifting, whether or not it's rocking and rolling, but right now we're busy. It's a different kind of busy. We're doing a lot of teaching. We got to know who, who's in the market, who's not, but we're always teaching because everybody wants to know what's going on with the market. And also being very relationship based, being belly to belly, face to face. And because if you look at it, someone that has an organized CRM, and again, when you're just starting out, it's challenging because like, who do I contact? And that's a whole nother video.
Yeah.
But if you have 400 people in your database and 15% are either going to move or know someone that moves, that's 60 deals right there.
That's right.
A year. And then you have a list of 60 people that are your VIPs. And who are your VIPs? They could be people that are small business owners. Could be it's your family. It could be your best friends. It's people that are consistently helping you accomplish your goals. But in turn, you're also helping them, and they understand why they're a VIP of yours. And if you get 4 referrals from them a year, and then have 60 people on that list, that's 200. No, it's 60 times 4. So if you think about like the amount of opportunities you get, and it's not hard. I always, you always think it's basics, but if the basics were easy, everybody would do them. There's no instant pill.
So that's right. And everyone's looking for the shiny penny, the quick fix, and that doesn't exist. The challenge.
I was saying
one of the challenges is being consistent with that.
I have to turn my greatness tracker in. I have to. The only way
no matter how busy you are, no matter how many deals you're going, you're still going to execute on that.
Yeah, and I only can put a name down now. I circle them if I talk to them, and I can solve 4 things. I provide value, solve a problem, set an appointment, or ask for a referral. Voicemails don't count.
Okay, that's a challenge.
And
that's got to be a challenging day. Those are challenging tasks.
It's all about time blocking. And again, that's where if I'm time blocked, I can knock it out, is also being in the right mindset. But I think if agents know, I think that beats any market. If you have a consistent, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's like anything else. It's like I tell everyone that's just starting out, your first 6 months, you're a farmer, you're not a hunter. You see, what you do now, you're going to see the reward in 6 months, but it's consistent.
Farming is hard work,
and
it's a slow take, and you can never stop in this business. 100%, you can never stop farming.
But 95%.
So let's
90+% of our business is through referrals. If you think about the average person knows 5 agents, you better be top of mind. And how we do that, and what we strive to is providing 5-star service and creating raving fans. But we also get to know our clients. We know what kind of candy they like, where's their favorite restaurants, what's the cocktail if they like, So that way we're surprising them with things when they come in. It's just little touches that help. And then who are they going to refer them, the clients to or their friends to? And that's the name of the game in real estate 2023. People that are after leads, they join teams for leads. I get it. But an online lead has a 2% conversion rate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that's a treadmill. That's like being in a hamster wheel. When you get onto that lead gen hamster wheel, it's hard to get off because they're so tied into chasing all those leads. all over the area, possibly often outside your area, actually. Yep. And you sit in your car, you're driving, and it could be for property that's not of high value, and the time they spend chasing those and putting them under it's hard to get off that treadmill. And if they're not paying attention to building their own sphere of influence, creating valuable relationships, they're just never be able to get off. Mm-hmm. And so when I talk to agents that are just getting into this and they consider getting lead gen, unless they really, really need the money right away, and or they're brand new to the business and they're young and they don't have a sphere of influence, then that's a great solution. If they're okay to invest, it's a business. If they're opening up a store, you have to put money into it. So if somebody comes into this business and they have the financial means to be able to take the time to build it, then getting into the lead gen is not the quickest and best way to go. They should be doing what you're doing. Yep. Figure out who to talk to, who are important in their lives, who can they actually impact, and start building deep relationships and going from there.
As I mentioned, it's all about the basics.
Yeah. Pick things up, put things down. That phone can come in very handy, right?
Mm-hmm. That's it. I mean, and a lot of times, people don't answer the phone, so it's leaving impactful voicemails.
That's right. And I've just recently personally started getting into leaving voicemails. I normally don't like to because I feel like I'm giving up the keys to the control of the situation. That's a mindset. I have to add, like you said, a value add voicemail, something that's going to want them to call me back or give them something that they could use right away, and then do another follow-up call. Mm-hmm. So leaving voicemails can be powerful. Anything else you want to add? And then I have one last question for you.
No, I just think that, I've also been able to do this a very long time, but I think one other side piece for agents in this world is you got to know you're a salesperson first. And if you don't put your arms around that or accept that, you're not going to survive.
Well, let's define that. What do you mean by salesperson?
You're your own brand. You have to be able to sell yourself. Like I said, the average person knows 5 agents. We're already in a commodity business. They don't think they need us. They just need to get in the door. What separates you? What I mean also by that is the day and age of social media. I wish in some cases I didn't need to have to do social media anymore.
Yeah, right.
But it's the name of the game, and if you're not, now there's some people that slay it and they're not on social, but they've also been doing it probably a lot longer before TikTok was the thing, So anyway, that's all I'm getting at is if you're afraid to get out there and get uncomfortable, you more than likely will not have an opportunity to grow.
Yeah. And it's the biggest piece is, selling real estate, selling the house, selling the home is the byproduct of actually selling yourself and making those connections and picking up the phone.
Yep. And knowing
we're cursed by
knowing your stats, knowing your stats, knowing the market,
right.
Be the expert.
Absolutely.
Because if they know who you know, if they know every time what's going on, how's the market? Everyone wants to talk about it. Why? They want to know how their house is. If you're able to recite what the average sales price is this year versus last year, average inventory, things like that, you're going to separate yourself from your competition real fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and thanks, Terb, for coming on. One last question. What's up with the dragon in the back?
Oh, yeah. You want to see the dragon? Okay.
That's the dragon.
So this is my guy. I don't know if we ever got a name of it. Well, this is a special dragon because in the core, when you're in level 3, each semester, so we do our coaching by semesters, almost like you're in school. So you sign up for a 2-year commitment, 4 semesters, and each semester you were with a certain coach. At the end of the semester, we go twice a year. We go to the summit, is what we call it. And at the summit, the coach names their best student. And there's 12 students that they have, and the best student gets the dragon.
All right.
First semester, I won my dragon. Last semester, I didn't get it. Really ticked me off.
Yeah.
But because of this dragon, come next Thursday, I'm taking our office manager and Lauren Jordan, and their spouses. We're going to Vegas. So the dragon's coming to Vegas because without them, we don't accomplish what we do. And then this dragon, you can't see it because it's green. That's kind of cool.
That's right. We can see part of it. Yeah.
My green screen's behind you. They started it before I went level 3. I won the dragon level 2.
That's fantastic.
So it's amazing what a $20 stuffed animal will do, or $15 for a competition. But you want dragons. So if you do your work,
everybody wants to win.
Yeah. So that's it.
Excellent. All right, Terb. Thanks so much for coming on. Your phone number's underneath here. Call Super Terb.
If you have any questions, let me know.
Any questions, any business, give us your territory in case somebody's looking for somebody to refer to.
Yep. All right.
What's your?
I appreciate you.
What's your territory in case somebody wants to refer?
Oh, sorry. We're over in Raleigh. We're in where you hear the triangle: Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Wake, and surrounding counties. We sell pretty much everywhere for like an hour from Raleigh. So a lot of people. We have over 60 people moving here a day. Let me know how we can help you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Take care, Terb.